First question for Coach. Go right here, Robert.
Media. Ime, can you sort of describe where Robert was at defensively when you first became coach here, and just some of the stuff that he's worked on through the season to get to, Defensive Player of the Year caliber player he is now?
I think he's always a high level, pretty instinctual guy. Some things that we've asked him to do have been different than he's had to do throughout his career. I think just off top, the amount of switching and perimeter play, but he is a guy that can do it. I've played against him in 2 playoff series in Philadelphia and Brooklyn and saw the impact he had on those series. And, a guy we wanted to keep out of a lot of actions. Obviously, the rim protection stands out, but his ability to move his feet on the perimeter and luxury of having him off the ball at times and allow Al to kind of be our normal 5 has benefited our team. So very multi-dimensional defender that has really good instincts, and I'd say in the modern day NBA center, a little undersized that can move his feet, guard on the perimeter, guard in the post, and obviously the rim protection is what he's always naturally done. So a huge luxury for us.
John on the right.
John Corrales, Boston Sports Journal. We know that on the court, when you guys aren't playing well, it's the over-penetration, the turnovers, forced shots. But what is it mentally when you see the guys come out and play their worst versus when they're coming out and playing their best like they did in the first half last night especially?
Yeah, it's you try to simplify it, and the main thing with us is, as I mentioned, have a carryover from game to game and do the things that make us successful. And so to see us come out very purposeful and deliberate last night on how we were trying to attack them, getting to our spacing quicker, playing with pace quicker so they have to guard longer in the shot clock, those things all stand out. And, I think it was one of our best games overall as far as that, attacking the areas we really wanted to, mixing in on ball, off ball, and some of the things Golden State is going to do and try to take advantage of that, and have to do it again now.
Is there anything in like early in the game that you can notice and say, we're in the wrong headspace tonight, that you can adjust now that you've seen how they've played in the first 3 games here?
Yeah, I think a big part is the turnovers, and that's the key. And it's if we're going to keep it simple and make the right read and make the right play, because they've had some adjustments throughout the series so far, and a lot of it has had to do with switching matchups. But our quick recognition of that, of how they're guarding and who they're trying to take away, I think the benefit of our team, as we talked about, we have multiple guys that can attack and kind of initiate offense or score for themselves, and so there are areas we could definitely attack. And my key is how we're moving the ball and keeping it simple, not over penetrating, looking for others, and it kind of has a domino effect from there. And if we're going to have a night where we're going to somewhat struggle or be on point like we were last night.
Next question on the left.
Hi, Coach. It's Esteban Bustillos, GBH News. How are you? I just wanted to ask, so I've been talking to members of the local Nigerian community here in Boston, and there's a lot of excitement for what you've done, what you've accomplished with Celtics. First, I just want to ask, have you seen and heard any of that excitement? And second, for you personally, have you had any time to reflect on what it means to represent Nigerians on this stage as a coach in the NBA Finals?
First, your first question, I have heard, haven't been out and about and done a whole lot to see, but through other people. I'm not a social media person, but my family and others let me know, obviously, and not just here in the community, but overall, whether it's NBBF, Nigerian Basketball Federation sites, and some of the things since I was a player there, they're obviously quite proud. And I heard I've been argued over what tribe my father's from, and they're trying to claim on where I came from and all that. But for me, it's a source of pride, and anytime there's some firsts we talked about, it's a big thing. And so coming up through the Nigerian program as a player, when although being born in America, it's a source of pride for me, my father, and playing with the federation. So my sister started that, and I kind of got into it with the World Championships and the African Championships. So I'm deeply rooted in that and love my time there. So it's a source of pride for me for sure.
Question in the middle.
Daniel Bell, BS. BS. So 52 points in the paint last night, 24 in game 3 and 34 in game 4. Was it more of a concerted effort to get points there and use your athleticism, or was it just the way they were playing you guys, or was it a mixture of both?
Mixture. We talked about game one. Some of the things we did well, and the penetrating kick that got us the threes. Obviously in the fourth quarter there, and then the lack of recognition and missing some outlets in game two, and so that kind of hurt us. We're the bigger team. We want to impose our size in the series, no doubt about that. And like I said, we have multiple guys that can attack the paint, and the way they help, will lead to some kick-out threes. So you want to have that balance, but at the same time, using our size inside, getting to the matchups that we like, and then the last piece, which we did extremely well last night, was the offensive rebounding, 15 for 22 second chance points, and so those all play into it. And if we can get that mix of paint touches as well as kick-out threes, that'd be the perfect storm.
Last couple of questions. Gary on the right.
Gary Wasser, Boston Globe. Ime, is Jason's shoulder affecting his ability to finish? He had a lot of layups that he didn't quite finish last night. He obviously might have gotten fouled. Is he kind of dealing with that? And then the second question is, how do you guys turn out, like the 8 turnovers in the first half, and I think 3 or 4 in the second half? What did you guys do besides not turn the ball over to stop turning the ball over?
Yeah, with Jason, I think it's that stinger that's gonna get gonna flare up whenever he gets hit the wrong way. Not sure if it has any impact on him finishing. He's still shooting the ball from 3. Just the initial hit where you've seen him get had to shoot some free throws after, it might be a little numb there, but he's shooting threes right after, so I'm not sure it hampers his ability to finish it all. As far as the turnovers, we understand what our record is when we do and don't, and the run that they had in the first half was due to that. A poor shot, we missed some free throws, but 2 of those were turnovers. And other than that stretch there, we had done a really good job in the first half. So 8 isn't terrible. We like to keep it under 15, so it was the emphasis going into halftime. And to only have 4 in the second half was huge, obviously, especially when they're making a run. At least you're not aiding it by letting them get on the break. But there were 2 stretches in the game, kind of the 7-point play, and then the stretch where they made the 9-0 run to get back into it, and those are due to turnovers. So, as always, we kind of come and go as the turnovers do.
Last question on the left.
Ime right over here. Michael Pina, Sports Illustrated. I know it's over a short time span, but how has Jalen improved in a notable way since you've been his head coach?
All around, honestly. The things he does, the versatility he gives us on the defensive end is what it is. I think that trickled down with Marcus and our bigs as well as our big wings. And so he's been solid there. And he's one of the guys that probably has had to kind of restructure what he did as a defender. He's usually a guy that locks in on an assignment, on ball, off ball, and kind of takes that guy out. Well, we're asking more communication, more recognition, and he's one of the guys that's improved throughout the season as far as that. And offensively, culmination of last night was his playmaking ability and his scoring for himself. I think it was one of his best games of getting guys into organized into spots he wanted, get our spacing correct, and then attacking from there. And so I think it was almost a perfect night as far as the reads he made with his aggression, looking to score, but also 1-2 dribbles and finding guys all over the court. So that growth, as well as Jason, was a big point of emphasis coming into the season. I think he did a hell of a job last night.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.